welcome to another edition of your program, Spotlight on Catholic Television of Nigeria. Today, our focus will be on the national body of Catholic Youth Organization, CYON. And with me in the studio, we have Mr. Mark Ifeanyi Ugwu, the National President of Catholic Youth Organization of Nigeria. Sir, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been a long while since your assumption of office. This is the first time you're appearing on this program. And I think we are pleased to have you on a day like this.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine.
Thank you very much. Today, we know that the 2020 has been a year like no other. And it was in that period that you became the president of the Catholic Youth Organization at the national level. The COVID year, how were you able to navigate your way through, knowing fully well that there's no physical meetings? What are the things that you did differently?
Thank you. Truly, 2020 was such a year that I would say made the world feel different, and we're truly not separated from such chaos and pause. On the year 2020, the whole world was forced to go virtual, and I think the Catholic Youth Organization did the same. I think we only had a meeting, which is February before the outbreak of the COVID, and since then we all went virtual. First of all, we understood that our young persons are very good. The digital world is the world for the young persons. Yeah. So we kind of encouraged everybody, okay, let's go virtual. First of all, we know there are a lot of persons that will be in confusion. So let there be ways going out to encourage the confused persons to redirect, to encourage our brothers and sisters. Of course, there is a lot of loss of hope within that period. We encourage, okay, can we go this way? Aside that, we encourage catechesis. Of course, we couldn't come together for liturgical worship and other worship that we are used to. So coming physical was a crime, so to say, for our own safety, of course. Yeah. So what we did was, okay, what can we do? First of all, there is need to sustain faith within the church within that time. And we came out with this little idea, can we have a little online catechesis, and to the glory of God, a lot of priests were supplying little content that could be digested by people, and a lot of materials from the hierarchy of the church, and we gradually lived through it. It was truly an experience, and we thank God for it. Okay,
where this online, these virtual meetings, was it done nationwide, or is done based on dioceses and archdioceses?
Yeah, there was need to actually break down, not to accumulate. So what we did most of the time is, for virtual meetings, we had virtual meetings with the executive, with the provincial president, which we encourage, okay, similar thing discussed, you can break it down, have your own virtual meetings. Yeah, so we encourage the breakage, not actually to centralize. And we had that severally in this period.
Okay. At this time, very soon we'll be having one of the biggest events in the calendar of the youth apostolate in Nigeria, the National Youth Day. I know in the Archdiocese of Abuja, we've done our own Archdiocesan Youth Day, and it's a step further taking it to the national. So how has the preparation been, and what are the plans for this day?
Yeah, for the National Youth Day, of course, it's coming up next year. Ibadan province is hosting the National Youth Day. So, second week of August, we're having a National Youth Day now in Ibadan. Now, in preparation towards that, already, as I'm speaking with you, the movement of National Youth Day icon, which we received from the Catholic Bishops' Conference on the 22nd of August this year, is already moving from diocese to diocese. We started with Onitsha province. Onitsha province finished with the veneration and prayer with the icons. Now, presently, the icon is in the province of Owerri. With that, it go around all the provinces in prayer and work of pilgrimage to prepare youths for this great coming together at Ibadan next year.
So the movement of the icon, is it like any diocese that the icon is coming to, just like we have Olympic, where the torch goes around the participating countries? So it's something like that, right?
Yes, something like that. But certainly ours is more spiritual than just the Olympic touch.
Just an example.
Yes. It comes to a diocese, you're expected to accept it from the neighboring diocese according to our schedules. So when you get to a diocese, you're expected to accept it, then have a moment of prayer and veneration with the cross with young persons in the diocese. Then after then, you move it over to the next diocese. Yeah. So the 57 dioceses in Nigeria, certainly we have a touch of the icon. Yes, certainly.
Okay, so just like when the icon gets to an archdiocese or a diocese, the whole youth in that diocese come together in prayer and veneration, right?
Certainly. I think of recent, I was following the Diocese of Okigwe. Yeah, they were updating me. It was a great moment, The diocese came together, and it was an experience. And I was there in our Nsukka diocese to witness theirs too. It was a great moment with the bishop himself. So it was lovely.
Okay, I learned that your next meeting will be in November.
Yes, yes. Actually, second week of November at the Diocese of Ahira, Owerri Province, we are having not just a meeting and a retreat. Okay. Yes, usually at the end of the year we have our meetings, then retreats to understand how far we have gone in the apostolate and to get ourselves ready for the year ahead of us. So yes, even though we are having a lot of security consideration, the IPOP activity over there in the eastern part of the country, especially when the meeting is coming just a week after Anambra election. So with that, we're taking time to understand how the situation could be there. But for now, at Ahira from second week of November in Ahira.
Knowing fully well that the Southeast today is not the best place when it comes to security, and we've had stories about insecurity going on there, and a meeting is coming up there. Do you have any security arrangements you are putting in place to ensure that those youths that are coming from all over the country have a safe place and have a safe meeting?
Well, of course, yeah, that's part of the local arrangements. Okay. Yeah, every diocese that is playing host actually provide those security measures. Okay. But then it is also our duty to make sure that it's also safer within that time for the young persons to gather, even though the issue challenged our faith and our logic at the same time. Yeah, a lot of young persons will be like, yeah, let's go there, it's for Christ, so we don't care. Of course, that is the youthfulness in us. Yeah, so whenever I'm saying you don't go, you're like, no, why are we saying not go? Let's go there. Yeah, it's part of our calling to be young. We have to witness. Yeah, our gathering shouldn't be restricted by any. But then, at some point, we must be careful today. Okay, as people, we will actually have to wait in both sides. But any of those ways are certainly, I believe, the church first and the mission of the church, certainly. Yeah.
And since the meeting is going to Southeast, I think knowing fully well that this, the insecurity that is going on in the Southeast is mostly perpetrated by young persons. Do you have any plans to also look for a way to discourage that, especially the Catholic youth, who may be tempted to be part of the problem instead of solutions?
Yeah, I think earlier on I was in the diocese of Owerri, and I remember admonishing the young persons that, for example, in Owerri we understand the quantity of Catholics and of course the Catholic youth. So it is important that we share our good values to the society, make society better than destroy society. Yeah, it is not of us. So wherever we are majority, and we must make sure that we influence society positively. So violence shouldn't really be part of us. The only problem sometimes is when such admonition is being done, truly the main perpetrators are not really being carried along. I keep telling my youth members, sometimes when I see some of you that come from afar to be part of this meeting and I speak to the young persons to stop doing some things, I believe that when I look at your faces, I shouldn't really be talking to you. I should be talking to somebody not here, there. So eventually it becomes a responsibility that we keep carrying these messages down, down, down. Of course, we keep promoting it. Yeah, but certainly, yes.
Viewers, you're still watching your program, Spotlight on Catholic Television of Nigeria, and our focus today has been the youth, the national body of Catholic Youth Organization of Nigeria, with the president in the studio. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned. Don't go away. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Spotlight on Catholic Television of Nigeria, and our focus today has been the youth apostolate, especially the national body of the Catholic Youth Organization of Nigeria. And in the studio has been the national president of Catholic Youth Organization of Nigeria, Mr. Mark Ifeanyi Ugwu. Before we went on that short break, I wanted to ask you about the concept of Laudato Si, the call by the Holy Father Pope Francis for attention to be given to the care for our common home, the environment. And I learned that in your meeting, you people are looking at a way of being part of this Laudato Si. Can you take us, bring us up to date with that?
Yeah, yes. First of all, let's understand one perspective of Laudato Si. I think Laudato Si ministers to the young persons personally than any other persons, of course. So that makes us center of this discussion. And of course, I was touched when I got to understand that the Paris Accord was actually discussed and influenced by some persons that spoke about Laudato Si. So Laudato Si kind of is championing the world discourse on the care of Mother Earth. And of certainly, we wouldn't say that has not touched us as individuals, because certainly, if the world or the environment is not at its best, of course, the young persons are the most victims of such. So, to us in Nigeria, I would say we've not really done so much, because this is the 6th anniversary of Laudato Si, as an encyclical. I don't think we've really done so much. So we really came out with a plan, first of all, attaching the spirituality of Laudato Si to the young persons in Nigeria. So in the meeting at Ahera, it's a seminar. So of course that gives us opportunity to bring the spirituality of Laudato Si to us as we start thinking of how we could use our faith to speak about the justice required for Mother Earth and others. Of course, in Ahera, if the meeting goes on as planned, the young persons will march the street of Ahera, demonstrating and telling the world that yes, the Laudato Si have come to stay, and there's need for a lot of young persons to also be part of the movement. So at Ahera is an opportunity for us to live out our Laudato Si life.
So living out Laudato Si, I know we have 7 pillars in Laudato Si. Are you going to be working with the 7 pillars, or you have a way of domesticating some part of the Laudato Si?
Oh, certainly. First of all, grouping it basically into 3 for us, the Catholic youth here. Now, we understand the spiritual concept of Laudato Si, that is 1. Then the willingness to carry out Laudato Si to the environment, that is 2. Then 3 is advocacy and bringing young people into the concept of Laudato Si. So with this 3 strategy, we tend to have Laudato Si in the church in Nigeria strongly enough.
That's great. We will be looking at the National Youth Day. The National Youth Day is coming up very soon, and we've talked about it, and it's going to be holding in Ibadan province, right?
Yes, yes.
And apart from the National Youth Day, there's another one that is bigger. You know, it starts from the diocese, then to the province, then to the national. Now we have the World Youth Day, right? The World Youth Day, when is it coming up, and what is the mode of participation? Is it open to everybody, or for selected privileged youth members?
Okay, first of all, the World Youth Day is coming up in the year 2023, in the month of August, 1st to 6th of August, in the country of Portugal, Lisbon to be precise. The young persons of the church will be gathered there, to celebrate their youthfulness in light of the church. Now, you're talking about criteria, selected privilege. No, of course, this will always be the church, which usually evangelize and show light to the society. So it's not really about selected privileged, but then we look carefully into worthy ambassadors of our faith and our apostolate. First of all, to really participate in the World Youth Day coming 2023, certainly you must be in strong union with the organization of the church too. Okay. So that World Youth Day is not just an opportunity for you to just go out. It's supposed to be some sort of pilgrimage for the young person. So we must take individuals that understand this concept first to go to represent the church in Nigeria. So it's not really about to be privileged or not, but then
when I actually talk about privilege, I was thinking that it's open to everybody. Anybody can just go, so long as you have your money, you just pay and you go.
Really, it's not
That's
really.
what I was thinking. And I know so many of our viewers will hold the same opinion.
No, not really. It's not just about your ability to finance or fund you're going to Portugal. But I think it's more of your union with the church per se. Okay. Yes, any person can fund it, but then what is it really making meaning to the person going for it? Yes, yeah. So I will start having issues of someone absconding. Yeah, okay. Yeah, of course.
Talking about the union that you're talking about, union with the church means that your local ordinary need to approve of it, right?
Certainly. First of all, before even coming to the stage of the Cali Secretariat, the local ordinary approves of every single person going from his diocese. Okay. So he must vent, must be sure that he knows this person to avoid eventualities. Okay. Yes, of course, you ought to be a good ambassador of the church when you're out there. So we help the individuals of being better ambassador of the church.
But we've had some cases where people go for this World Youth Day. Some people see it as a visa to run away from the country. They go out and they don't want to come back. So people are absconding from this kind of event. What plans do you have in place to kind of guide against this?
Yeah, I think we blame what is it called? The situation of Nigeria to being part of that as an influencing factor. But that shouldn't really be a reason why we should, as Catholic youth, allow ourselves to be involved in such wrongdoing. Yeah, of course. So from the Cali Secretariat, before the departure, there is seminar and education of what you are going to do, first of all. Okay. So you understand that it's a huge responsibility on yourself, a commitment to your faith and to the church in Nigeria, first of all. It's not just about your person, but it's really what you believe and your connection with the church and God. So it challenges your faith, first of all. Yeah, when you think about going there to ASCON. And I'm sure there is 2-3 pages of recommendation already piling off from myself to be given to the National Youth Animator as we plan towards the World Youth Day in Portugal to make sure that we have less casualty or zero casualty. Yeah, of course. What I mean casualty, I mean people absconding, yes.
But for those who have absconded in the past and eventually deported back to Nigeria, is there a stopgap measure that the church or the youth apostolate have, at least to serve as a deterrent to others who will want to go that way? Yeah,
I'm very sure that apart from those individuals, few dioceses in Nigeria might not be eligible to go because of past cases. Okay. So whenever you are doing such, you understand that you are really affecting others coming here. Yeah, okay. A lot of persons today are so willing. Someone approached me from one of such dioceses. I said, well, it depends on your bishop. If he agrees with you, so it's solely depend on the bishop's decision. So there is a lot of restriction on such dioceses to checkmate such excesses.
Yeah. Okay, for funding and sponsorship of this World Youth Day, is it borne by the individual or the local ordinary through the diocese can raise funds to sponsor a particular person? Or if I want to go and I have my money, will I be free to just go, or I still need, with my money, I still need a lot of scrutiny before I find my way to Lisbon?
Yeah, a lot. With your money, you see need a lot of scrutiny. One of those is actually approval of your local ordinary. Now, I think it is very important that The church sees this as an opportunity to export raw materials in order to import finished goods. It helps. Interacting with a lot of young persons that have been outside and how the world they have touched their life, I've come to understand that they are truly more refined youth members. So I think it's a call to Catholic bishops at each diocese to please, wherever way they can, they should try to make sure that funds are made available for youth members to participate. I keep noticing that some dioceses that have good number of persons in the rural parts of the diocese might not really have the privilege of going. But then that will be a life-transforming adventure forever. So I really encourage that to be taken to recognizance by the Catholic bishops. Yeah, and I call on the captains of industries and well-to-do men in the Catholic faith to please help the youths to interact, to be refined, so that whenever they are coming back to Nigeria, they're coming better, because it demands huge finances. Usually, we should not pressure our young persons into making money illicitly just for the sake of traveling for what do they. No, we should discourage that. Yes, so the young person should be supported as much as required. So that they should just concentrate in their ongoing formation as young persons to be useful to the church, not just today, but also tomorrow. Of course, the continuity of this church hugely depends. Yes, so we shouldn't pressure them by any means. Yes, what you do is a good one, but then that shouldn't just be the focal point. So we should lessen the stress by really helping out in such ways.
You are the national president of the Catholic Youth. What do you think are the challenges that the young people, especially the Catholic youths, have been facing all these years? Because I know you must have been interacting with them. Your ears must have been filled up with so many challenges that they are having, both at their parish level, the deanery, the dioceses, the archdiocese, the province, and even to your table at the national.
Yeah, I think first is the issue of poverty. Yeah, it truly is a serious factor affecting the youth down here, because that challenges their loyalty to the church per se. Yes, I was in a diocese, and a brother met me and was like, "See, President, leave all this English way they speak." I was like, "Okay, what's the problem, dear brother?" He was like, "See, if I go out and make money and come back now, believe me, everybody will respect me." That's the concept he's coming from. So you see, that actually makes him not really understand his full calling as Catholic. So if the government provided such amenities for those persons, doesn't need to think so much to go to school, doesn't need to think so much to take his brother or go to the hospital or to survive in Nigeria, I think that will help. The secondly is the issue of the unemployment. It's not, the employment rate in Nigeria is really crazy. And every young person is expected now to be creative. Of course, we call clamoring, be creative, to be creative. But then the empowerment after being creative is not there too for the young persons. I've met a lot of Catholic youth with countless talents, but then no empowerment. So it's all the skills, their creativity just dies there. I keep saying it because I travel a lot to mingle with the people. Thirdly, I think is their understanding of catechesis too, affects a lot. You see, I keep seeing good number of Catholics youth not being so knowledgeable with their catechesis. So that easily makes them to be indifferent or not really have this sole focus on the faith per se. And I think lastly, pastoral reasons like maybe the attitude of the pastors in the parish. They keep forgetting.
Because I wanted to ask you about the role of the church. Now it's not about government doesn't provide job, government doesn't provide this. What is the church doing, especially at the Catholic Secretariat? What are they doing to help these young people? We've already listed a litany of their problems. Where is the position of the church and what is the church doing? And you, the president, how have you been able to leverage on your position to draw the support to the youth?
Yes, we've done that severally by speaking to ears that cares to hear, to speak to them that our youth actually needs this, especially to the Catholic Empower. I try reaching out to, when you pick my phone, I see several text messages. gist I must have sent, even of recent, to tell them of a particular concern within the church. And I think this is actually a bigger call because our church in particular pays more moral support than really supporting the young persons, and it's affecting. It's affecting, I must say that. It's affecting.
Thank you very much. You know, the issue of the youth cannot be concluded in one episode of a program such as this. We'll invite you some other time.
Thank you so much.
For us to talk more, especially after the World Youth Day. This is where we are going to be dropping the anchor for this edition of your favorite program on Catholic television, Spotlights on Catholic Television of Nigeria. Bye for now and have a lovely day.